Hello, everyone. Julio Petrovitch, Program Manager at NetAlly, here to quickly show you how to use an AirCheck G2 to perform an iPerf throughput test, or commonly called a speed test, on your local area network. And the way it works is pretty straightforward. First, you'll start by selecting the network or access point to which you want to connect to, or against which you want to run the speed test. In this case, I'll select a network. So I'll go to the Networks section on the AirCheck G2 home screen. From here, just look for your SSID or the network you want to connect to. Let's say, for example, that I want to connect to this one here. After selecting the network you want to connect to, basically just click on Connect. The AirCheck will now go through the normal connection test process. So it will validate that it can actually connect to the Wi-Fi network, get an IP address, see a DHCP server, can find the gateway, DNS server, any targets. And of course, it will also upload the test results to Link Live. Then after that, on the lower left of the screen, you'll notice this option called Tests. So we'll click in there. And here you'll have two options, an iPerf test and a roaming test. For today, we'll focus on the iPerf throughput test. So we'll select that option. Notice that if you get this message, it's because you are connected to an Ethernet port or cable. And basically, this is a warning telling you that, hey, you will, if since you're connected to the Ethernet, the speed test or the iPerf throughput test will be run to the Ethernet port instead of the Wi-Fi. So just click OK if that's what you want to do. After that, you'll get to the iPerf server selection screen. And here, there's a lot of information here. But basically, this is where you'll be able to select the iPerf server against which you want to perform the test. Basically, the way it works is that the AirCheck G2 is like an iPerf client, and it will test against an iPerf server. So one will send data, the one will receive it, and so on to measure your throughput or your speeds on the network. And notice that if you're using a normal iPerf 3 server on a laptop, tablet, PC, etc., you can just type the IP address of the server here, and that will work. Also notice that if you're testing against a remote site, for example, you can specify a subnet on which the iPerf server is located at. But the easy way will be to use one of the iPerf test accessories from NetAlly. Basically, the little guys look like this here. And they're technically a pocket-sized iPerf server. You just plug them in on the network. And if they have been claimed to Link Live, the AirCheck will detect them automatically. Of course, the AirCheck will also look on the subnet you're connected to, or any specific subnets that you add in there too. And in this example, we can see that the AirCheck found 3 test accessories that are active. They're all plugged in or with PoE or being powered via PoE. And they have been claimed on Link Live, which is what the little cloud shows. There's a 4th one here too, but this one doesn't seem to be active or connected at this time. So it's grayed out. You'll also see this little broken chain. That means that it's not linked or connected to a network, even though we saw it in the past. So basically, from here, you just select the server that you want to use. Let's say I want to use this first one here. And that will update the IP address. Also notice before we start our test that you have multiple options or settings that you can change for the iPerf test. So if I go to settings, for example, you could select between TCP or UDP. TCP is normally used for, well, daily traffic, like if you want to validate the speed for emails, video streaming, and so on. UDP is normally used for voice over Wi-Fi or voice over IP. So if you're validating your speeds and if they can support voice over Wi-Fi or IP, you can use the UDP test. For this example, I'll just leave it on TCP. You can specify the port that the iPerf server will be using. By default, we'll be using 5201, which is the iPerf 3 default. You can specify for how long you want to run the test. In this case, we'll just keep it simple and make it quick with 20 seconds. You can also specify the type of battery you're using on your test accessory. And basically, that helps you determine the battery life that's left on the device. And you can also change the pass-fail thresholds if you wanted to. For this example, I'll just leave the defaults there. Notice that if you make any changes here, just click on Apply. And that will apply those changes. If not, just go back to our iPerf selection, after iPerf server selection screen, select the test accessory we want, and just tap on Start. So now what will happen is that the AirCheck will start running the throughput test. First, it will start by running an upload speeds test, which it will show you the average upload speeds over time and the max speed. Then it will go with the download speed test, both average and max. Besides that, when it's done, it will upload the results to Link Live. And of course, you'll also see other information here that you can use for troubleshooting purposes, like, hey, what's my actual connection PHY data rate? And am I seeing, based on that, a very low speeds? You can also see, hey, what's my signal strength, noise levels, SNR? Do I have enough SNR or a high enough SNR to support the speeds that I want? And you can also look at your retry rates. So anyway, guys, that's it. Pretty simple to run a throughput speed test or iPerf test with the AirCheck G2. Thank you for watching.